When we use interval notation to express an answer, sometimes we'd like to include a number and sometimes we'd like to exclude a number. The notation that we use for including a number is to use a bracket like this. So if you use either one of those, you're saying we're going to use the number that appears next to the symbol. If you'd like to exclude a number, you'd use parentheses like this. So as an example, I'm going to draw a number line. And let's say for some given problem, our answers started at 3 and ended at 5. And it includes 5, but it does not include 3. It includes everything right up to it, but not 3 itself. And we'd use an open circle to represent this. So here on the number line, the answer is you start at 3, but don't include it. You move in this direction, and then you stop and include 5 when you get to it. How would you express this answer using interval notation? Since we're starting at 3 and we don't want to include it, we're excluding it, I'll use a parenthesis like this and put the 3 next to it. Then a comma and a 5. And since we are including the 5, we'll use a bracket next to it. So here's a parenthesis, meaning we go right up to, but just don't include this number. Here we use a bracket to say that we go up to it and include it. Let's look at 2 more examples. So let's say for this one up here, this is your solution set drawn on a number line. You're starting at -2 and you're heading towards, well, this way forever would be towards positive infinity. So we always list our values in increasing order in our interval. So that means we're going to start at -2, and I'm going to use a bracket because we're including it. We then put a comma, and we use the infinity symbol to represent that we go this way forever. It never stops. The convention is, if you ever encounter something that is infinite, to always use a parenthesis and never a bracket. And the reason for this is, this really isn't a number, it's really just an idea, so we don't ever actually include it in our answer. Okay, last one. How can we express the answer on this number line using interval notation? Now this one has 2 parts to it. It has this piece and this piece. We'll start with this one here. So this is at 1, but we don't include it, and the values are going towards minus infinity. So really our starting point, if we're working from going from smallest to largest, is down here. So that'd be like saying minus infinity. And we use a parenthesis because we never include it. I then put a comma and the number 1, and again use a parenthesis because of this open circle. We're going right up to 1, but we're just not including 1 itself. Now for this part over here, this is from 3 to that's supposed to be 4. This is everything from 3 and including it up to and including 4. I want to use brackets for both of those numbers. So that would be, okay, we're starting at 3, but we use a bracket, then a comma. I write 4 and another bracket because we include it. One last thought here is, anytime that you have more than one interval in your answer, because your answer is slightly more complicated and you want to connect them, you can use this symbol, this U symbol. That's referred to as a union, the union symbol. And all it means is you're including both of these parts as your answer.